have never been so publicly humiliated in all my life.
You? What about me? Look at my dress is ruined.
Dresses can be replaced. Reputations cannot. Do you have any idea who that was we ran into on the way out?
No.
Lloyd Conrad, who only happens to be the biggest investor in Hollister Mall.
So?
So I did a little thinking between the restaurant and here. And I finally realized something, Nancy. My life, professional and personal, has taken a downward swing ever since you stepped into it.
Charles, you scare me when you start talking like
Good.
that.
I'm glad something finally did. I may have been foolish about this before, but no more. I have come to a decision.
I don't understand.
We're through. It ended tonight. I simply cannot stand anymore. It's over.
Charles, this isn't like you.
No, it isn't. I haven't been me since you wrapped me around your little finger several months ago.
Well, ours is hardly what I'd consider a one-sided relationship.
You're right. And even that side has limited rewards. And particularly since you've wreaked so much havoc in the rest of my life.
Well, I've never heard any complaints in the bedroom.
Oh, that's your domain, all right. The mistake I made was letting you influence my decisions beyond that. Rule number 1 for me has always been keep the bedroom out of the boardroom. I was a fool to ever think I could get around it.
Charles, look, we've been through a lot tonight. This is not the time to be discussing this.
It is the perfect time to talk about it because I see you finally as you really are.
I refuse to believe that this is you talking.
Believe it, Nancy.
No, look, you're angry. I can understand that. Let's go get cleaned up and we can sit down and discuss this thing rationally.
The only thing I want to discuss is how long it's going to take you to pack up and get out.
What?
I think 24 hours is reasonable.
Charles, no!
And if you're not out, I will take legal steps to have you thrown out. I'm sure you're familiar with that process.
Look, Charles, I know there are things wrong, but we could discuss them, rationally.
The only thing I want to do is try and repair the damage that you've done.
Charles, please, we've got to try.
Nancy, I'm not interested in anything you have to say. Ha-ha. Yes, that's something else you were always very good at, too.
Charles, I love you.
I'm sure you do. No scene would be complete without a protestation of this sort. And now I suppose your scenario calls for me to melt and repent. Is that correct?
Get out of here! Get out!
With pleasure. For the time being, anyway. But don't forget, 24 hours.
Please, Charles, don't go.
Nancy, I have some unfinished business. I owe my daughter an apology.
Please, Charles, look, whatever I did, I'm sorry about it. I'll make it up to you. Come on, I love you. You'll pay, Charles Carpenter, you'll pay.
All right, thanks. There you go. That's
Just what is it you're after, Gil?
the good life.
The good life.
Good question. I ask myself that a lot lately.
A little early for midlife crisis, isn't it?
Better now that I'm equipped to do something about it than in 20 years, huh?
Maybe. Unhappy?
Only bits and parts. Let's put it that way.
Like?
Like doing the business part of business.
You just want to stay out on the site and work up a sweat with the boys, huh?
That's right. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. It's just I think you have a lot more to offer than just that.
Well, I'm real sick and tired of hearing about my potential, okay?
Sounds like this is familiar battleground between you and your father.
That's right.
Well, I guess I've had to deal with a different set of problems. How about your mother? Whose side is she on?
My mom's dead.
Sorry.
That's okay. I think that's probably what's wrong with my father. I mean, you know, he gets all this energy worked up, and I'm his convenient target. You know, what he needs is a woman.
Hmm.
Cat, got your tongue?
I'm sorry, I just can't.
I have a suggestion that might make it easier for you. Close your eyes and pretend I'm that cute little nurse, Terry.
All right, that's enough.
My thoughts exactly.
You know how foolish you looked at lunch?
Not half as foolish as she looked.
What?
Isn't she rather obvious?
About what?
Ask a silly question. Honestly, Jason, you're so naive when it comes to women.
Oh, really, like you, for instance?
Go ahead, criticize me. But you'll have to admit you can't accuse me of being dishonest about my intentions towards you. Can you say the same about her?
What do you just think it is that she's after?
You're a wealthy man and getting wealthier. And you have political clout. My, whatever could it be?
Ah, the thought never entered her mind.
Not more than 3 or 4 times a day, anyway.
Sharon, I really hate it when you're like this.
Look, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I like our relationship the way it is. Or at least the way it was before you started that business association with that nurse. But where do we stand now, Jason?
You know how uneasy I've been about us.
Yes, your convenient conscience. But don't look at me like it's my problem. Cat, still got your tongue?
Look, I haven't said anything that you haven't heard before.
Yes, we're very consistent, you and I. What's that old saying about a hobgoblin of little minds?
Sharon, I'm sorry, I just can't rationalize our relationship anymore, particularly certain aspects of it.
I see. And your new relationship, that will be on a higher spiritual plane, no doubt. Well, Jason, are you trying to rationalize this into a goodbye, or will you be needing my services again?
Sharon, don't do this to me.
Excuse me, but I'm the one being done in here. Tell me, Jason, is this goodbye?
Miriam?
Oh,
Oh, hello.
good evening.
Hi, Daddy.
Should I come back later?
Oh, no, not at all. This is Ione Redlin. We're friends, and she's been here a lot to see me while I've been here.
My friends call me Mama.
Yeah. Isn't that nice? Do you work here?
Oh, no.
Oh, well, how did you meet?
Oh, Ione, or Mama, is a friend of Terry Davidson.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, I thought your daughter could use a few extra visits every now and then.
And that's how we became friends.
Friends.
Yes, Daddy, and very good ones.
Well, Miriam, there's simply no end to your surprises.
Right, and I have another one, too. See, tomorrow when they let me go home from the hospital, I'm going to be staying with Mama for a while.
What?
Yes, she lives in Chesterfield.
No doubt.
Mr. Carpenter, I'm sure your daughter will be well taken care of.
Mrs. Ion,
Daddy, that's Ione.
Mrs. Redlin will do.
Mrs. Redlawn, would you mind if I spoke to my daughter alone?
Of course not. Please excuse me. Not there any problems, honey. You be sure and call me later. Yeah?
Okay.
Good night.
Good night. Have you taken leave of your senses completely?
Not according to the latest court ruling, no.
Well, I was obviously mistaken for ever letting it happen.
Daddy, look, I'm not going to sit here and listen to you criticize me.
Miriam, you cannot live with that woman.
Why not?
Because she's black.
Daddy.
And she lives in Chesterfield, too. Isn't that lovely?
You know what? I am really ashamed of you.
Oh, really? Well, since when did you complete your liberal education? You may be ashamed of me, but I am very, very disappointed in you.
And you know what? I am not in the least bit interested in what you think of me.
But it's so irrational, it's irresponsible, and it's unthinkable. What would your mother say?
She'd probably say, keep your room neat and help around the house.
Don't get smart with me, young lady.
Daddy, my decision has been made. This reaction of yours is only helping to convince me of how right it really is.
Oh, Mim, please come home with me, Mim. I've made some changes. I asked Nancy to leave.
Oh, really?
Well, I want you there. I've made so many mistakes, and I need to make them up to you. I want us to be as happy as we used to be. What do you say?
Well, so much has happened, but I've missed you, too.
Then you will?
No, you know, I really can't go back to the way we were before. I would just have too much to give up. Would you please just try to understand?
I see. You'd rather live with a Negro.
That is really enough. I want you to leave right now.
Yes, I think I will. There's nothing for me here. No daughter of mine would ever do this to me.
Good morning.
Morning.
Is this visit official or personal?
Personal.
Well, in that case, have a cup of coffee.
Why? Wouldn't I get one if it was official?
Well, you'll have to come back someday and see.
Thank you. Hey, Pete, aren't you afraid you'll be late for work?
I got plenty of time.
Well, I know, but how about that big shipment of sheetrock we got coming in this morning? Huh?
Oh, yeah, well, wouldn't want to miss that. Now I better get...
Ah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you, Pete. Good kid.
The best.
Oh, here. Harry, could we talk about lunch yesterday?
Okay.
I suppose you're wondering what my relationship is with Sharon.
Not really.
You're not?
No, should I be?
Well, figured by the way you acted after she left.
How was that?
Well, you know, kind of jealous.
What?
Ah, come on, TD, admit it. I thought it was kind of cute myself.
Oh, I see. You're assuming quite a lot, aren't you?
Like what?
That I'd have any feelings for you that are deep enough to prompt a reaction like jealousy.
Then you're denying it.
I most certainly am.
Well, if that doesn't beat all.
I can't believe you have the audacity to even suggest such a thing.
And I can't believe that you've got the pride not to admit what we both know is true.
You sure have a pretty high opinion of yourself.
Well, excuse me for having the audacity to think that you might have a human emotion.
As long as we are suggesting things, Mr. Prescott, may I suggest that any further contact between us, and I sincerely hope there isn't any, be strictly business.
Of course. And by the way, you make a lousy cup of coffee. Here, what? Here, get out of here. Leave me alone. Here, get out of here, you mutt.
Good dog, Charlie.
Hello?
Charles?
Nancy?
I couldn't sleep at all last night.
That's funny. I slept better than I have in weeks.
Oh, Charles, come on, don't talk like that.
Nancy, I haven't got time for this, nor the interest.
So you still feel the same way, then?
Yes, I do.
Well, Charles, why can't we go out to lunch and discuss it?
Why? So that you can publicly humiliate me again?
Come on, Charles.
No! And I don't want any surprise visits here at the office either.
Well, I wouldn't dream of doing such a thing.
How do you expect me to believe that?
So this is goodbye, then?
I guess so.
Charles, I'll never forget you.
Nor I you, Nancy, believe me.
No, I mean that. I mean, this breaking up, it's just tearing me apart.
I'll bet losing all that money.
Do you think that's all I ever saw in you?
No, you also liked my car, too, didn't you?
If ever there's another man in my life, he'd have to measure up to you, Charles, if that's possible.
Well, I'll send you a rundown of my net worth. Maybe that'll make your task a little easier. Now, can we please finish with all of this?
Oh, Charles.
Oh, I almost forgot. The tears. How could I ever forget those tears?
Charles, I love you.
Nancy, You have 12 more hours in which to leave that house.
Charles? Charles?
Hello. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Russ.
Hey, that's very good. May I?
Sure. Only no comments.
Well, how about compliments?
Oh, those I'll accept.
Hey, very, very good.
You have it upside down.
Oh, that's, yeah, well, maybe, how about over here like this?
Okay, end of exhibit.
No, really, I like it, it's good.
Yeah, but you now have zero credibility.
Well, the only place I have to go then is up, right?
Yeah. What are you doing here?
I am an employee.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
And to think that only last week you learned how to read and write.
Well, contrary to popular belief, my college education was not only pig-skin deep.
Well, judging from the coat and tie, I'd say you're doing something more impressive than cleaning bid pans.
Only slightly. I'm Lester Lewis's administrative assistant. You might say, clean bureaucratic bedpans.
Well, someone has to do it.
Yeah.
Med school in the fall?
No.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal. At least I'm in the healthcare field, right?
Right.
Listen, do you always sit around hospital cafeteria sketching?
Oh, always.
No, don't tell me. I know. It's the atmosphere, right?
Well, actually, that's pretty close to the truth. I'm doing some interior design work for the new nurses' wing, and I have to choose some paintings. So I'm just observing and picking up on the mood of the personnel. Stupid, right?
No, not at all. That's actually very smart. What is the mood of the personnel?
Intimidating.
Well, have you picked anything out yet?
Well, I'm sort of leaning towards these prints here.
Van Wilgen.
Yes. How did you know?
He's one of my favorites.
It's practically unknown in this country. I'm impressed.
Well, good.
Very impressed.
Very good. Listen, I don't suppose I could interest you in a trip to the Nash Gallery someday soon.
I love it.
Well, great. Maybe, how about I give you a call? He gives me exactly 90 seconds to get to his office.
Well, another bureaucratic bid pan bites the dust.
Yeah, I guess so. Listen, I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Looking forward to it.
You know, I've been safe here. I know it's been difficult, but all along I knew there was somebody to look after me.
That's not going to end when you leave.
Well, there's a lot waiting for me out there.
Nothing that's not manageable, though.
Yeah, I think that's true. I suppose that if there's something that I can't handle, it's no shame to admit that, is it?
Not at all. We're here for each other.
Oh, good. You know, there's something else I've been thinking about. After I get settled and, you know, when I get used to it, know that I can make it on my own, I'd like to see my little boy. That is, if he would let me.
I think Frederick would love to see you.
Well, I know I'm not ready quite yet, but I think it won't be long.
One thing at a time.
Good.
Look who I found wandering in the hall.
Ready whenever you are.
Oh, I guess I shouldn't postpone the inevitable.
Well, allow me.
Oh, good. Thank you. Tell you what. Why don't you just go on? I'll just join you in a second.
All right, we'll wait for you at the elevators.
Oh, okay.
Nancy! Nancy, can you hear me?
Oh.
Nancy, it's Charles. Nancy, where does it hurt?
Oh.
Nancy, now, everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right.
Charles, isn't that you?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh.
Now, where does it hurt, Nancy?
Help me. It hurts.
All right, I will.
so much.
Now, I'm going to try and lift you over to the couch.
Oh.
All right, now, easy does it. Now, easy. Oh, no, it's all right now. All right, now, here we go. Now, hold on. Here we go. Oh, my God.
No. Oh, please, don't leave me.
I'm not. I've got to get help, Nancy. Now, just hold on. Just hold on. Come on, come on. Operator, this is an emergency. I need an ambulance at 64 King William Drive. Charles Carpenter. No, Carpenter, and please, hurry. Nancy, I've called for an ambulance. Now, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's
Charles,
all,
it hurts so bad.
I know. It'll be all right.
Well, is that all there is to checking out?
That's it.
Hold on, Dr. Flash. None of this has been signed by an admissions clerk.
Well, isn't it a little late for that?
Hospital policy.
My favorite 2 words.
Oh, no. Will this take long?
Just a short stop on the 2nd floor.
Well, up before out, I guess.
Sorry.
Oh, don't give it a second thought. I've got all day if need be.
Do you want us to come with you?
Oh, no. I can handle some, or we can handle a simple thing like that. I'm sure you have a lot to do here anyway.
Well, I can't deny that.
We'll be fine.
Here. Oh, thank you very, very much.
I'll give you a call as soon as you're settled.
Please do, both of you, okay?
Don't worry about that.
Bye.
Bye, thanks
Bye-bye.
again.
Take care. What happened?
She fell down the stairs.
Okay, get her an X-ray stat. Terry, Dr. Osgood isn't on call, but get him down here. This could be serious.